Finally TV, here we are, party people, back again with another edition of Voice of the Valley. And remember, don't just dream, inspire, don't just imagine, create, and just don't believe, achieve. That's the way it goes down every time I'm here, you already know. Today, we got a interesting and special guest, to say the least, coming to the show today. There was not a Finally TV prior to 2018. Platform got created in February that year and has gone strong since, right? So here we are, April 2022. Finally TV is alive, chilling at over 600 subscribers on YouTube, over 1,000 Instagram, 600 more on Facebook, and the love's been tremendous. So what better way to celebrate 4 years of Finally TV than talking to the person who created Finally TV? We welcome to the show today, Gabriel. What is going on, good sir?
Yo, man.
Cool.
Thank you for having me, bro. Yeah,
Welcome.
man. I appreciate this. This is different for me. You know what I mean? Usually, I'm on your side. You know what I mean? You look quite handsome over there. You know. Salute, man. Thanks for having me. Finally TV, we in the building. Gabriel, you know what it is. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, thank you. It's super cool having you on the show, bro. We'll give you some flowers while you're here. You know what I mean? I think that, anybody standing on the outside of this knows that there was nothing there and that you created that. I think that's super dope, man. I think that providing something for the community that can be, respected, it can be used as a tool, whether learning or, informational. I just think what Finally TV's been representing is good, wholesome, coverage of an area, right? So I do recognize, that not that you're the only one, of course not. There are others, of course. Some were before you, some were after you. But I think it's super cool how, you've kept it going. You've tried to build it, make it bigger, make it better. I respect that. So seeing all that from this side, I wanted to ask, what's an unexpected aspect of creating a platform? What did you least expect when it was getting all created and it happened while you were doing it?
An unexpected aspect of creating the platform. Interesting. I guess just not realizing ahead of time the amount of commitment that it really takes to get it done. You know what I mean? I think from the outside looking in, it looks like as simple as cutting on a camera and recording and then just making that available. I think people really believe it's that simple. And it's just not that, you know what I mean? The commitment you need to be consistent with this stuff is pretty tremendous. And honestly, like with more commitment and more consistency from me, the platform could be bigger than it is right now. So I know that there's room to grow there for me, just personally knowing like how much effort I'm putting into it and everything. But no, one of the most unexpected things is the amount of commitment and time, the effort, the knowledge. There's so many, like if you're doing this alone, like I have been, to learn camera work and learn editing and learning, interview techniques and, all those things, it's harder than it looks. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely harder than it looks. And I salute all the media platforms out there that are super consistent and they drop, weekly for years. You know what I mean? there's something to be said for that, and it's definitely commendable and respectable. So yeah, no, I'd say the most unexpected one is just the amount of commitment and time, effort, money that, you know, gets put into something like this to make it go. Because I think I was just like everybody else. I think that I thought you could just get a camera, cut it on, record some stuff, throw it on the internet, and you know, people rock with it and it's all good. It's just not that easy, you know. Not to make it, you know, trivial or you know, undoable or unimaginably hard or anything. I'm not saying that, but I think that it's much harder than what people think it is. So I think that's the most unexpected.
All right. Yeah, I had to ask that question. It's you know, I don't think people always realize, you know, those type of things. So I just wanted to ask about that. Cool though, man. That's cool. So with the whole Voice of the Valley thing, which, you know, interviews for local artists, businesses, all that stuff. You know, you are at basically 100, right? This marks 100 Voice of the Valley videos, right? So super dope. What's the most, because you always talk like the positive stuff, you know what I'm saying? So like, but what's some of the more frustrating things with Voice of the Valley?
The most frustrating part of doing Voice of the Valley. This goes so many different ways, bro. I think one of the most eye-opening things about the whole thing, and I get told this all the time, but by close friends who watch the show and actually give me good feedback and, you know, are willing to be constructive with me and not hateful, just giving me constructive criticism. I think one of the things is it's frustrating that somebody is an artist of any sort and they know enough to reach out to the platform and to go and get their interviews done, and they know they need the exposure. They, you know, they understand that the more they do something like this, the more eyes are going to be on them, you know, so they get that part. But what's amazing to me is once they're in the chair, they do not know how to like talk about themselves. They don't know how to like put it out there and put it on camera like what it is, right? So I'm constantly being told like, damn, Gabe, it's crazy how you had to sit there and pull, you know, the information out of these people. You know what I mean? You know, you're trying to do them a favor, like, you know, talk about yourself. Like, let's, you know, and that part's weird to me. You know what I mean? Like, I would think, you know, not everybody, don't get me wrong. There's people that sit in this chair and, you know, they know exactly what they want to do, how they want to be promoted, their branding, their marketing, the whole nine. So they know what they're going to come here and say and what they want to leave the interview feeling like, right? But I think a lot of people just don't know what it is. They don't realize the public relation part of being an artist. You know what I mean? They think that just, well, I write music and I put it on, you know, I record it at a studio and, you know, I'm an artist, you know, and it's like, not exactly, you know what I mean? There's so much that goes into being a reputable, you know, highly favorited, popular artist. You know, there's so much that goes into it, and your public relations and your branding is so much an integral part of all that. You know, so I just think it's crazy that people come sit in the chair and they don't realize that, you know. I think another aspect of Voice of Valley that's frustrating is the payment part. You know, I think it's very short-sighted of people, particularly artists in this area, you know, to not want to come on here and get that real deal interview. Like, let's talk about you. Let's put the spotlight on you. Let's really let the people know. It's crazy to me how people don't think there's value in that, and how they would expect. Can you imagine like going to the mall and sitting down in one of the stores and just, using whatever you want at the store, right? And then you're just going to get up and leave and walk out the store. Like, that's not happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's crazy to me that people want a service. They see like they want to see themselves on camera and post it on YouTube and Facebook and have people watching it and commenting. They want all that, but they're not willing to come out of pocket, And what's silly to me, and this is the truth, this is the God's honest truth, and this is, if it's you, if the shoe fits, wear it, you know what I mean? But I've been told that $50 is too steep. So it's like, really, fam? Okay, you know what I mean? I'll see you next time when you paying $250 to, be at an industry party, or when you paying $500 to open up for so-and-so 5 hours before so-and-so actually performs. I'll see you when you do that. You know what I'm saying? But that's worth it. But coming here and spending $50 to get a professional interview edited, put out there, marketed, ad program behind it and all that's not worth $50. But that other is worth it, is $250, $500. That's totally worth it. 100% worth it. Got it. So that's those two things right there. The fact that people don't know how to talk about themselves and market themselves and say the right things when they're on camera, and the fact that there's other people who won't come on the show because they think $50 is too expensive, is not worth it. I don't get it.
It'll never cease to amaze me how people will put their hard-earned money towards the dumbest ish, but tell them they gotta pay to get recorded, have time carved out specifically for them, editing, posting, marketing it, sharing it. It's amazing how people think they don't have to pay for that, and it's like, how much of that are you actually gonna get for free anywhere else? Like, tell me where. Everything costs money, and even me, like, doing my thing, like, even though I'm building this, or you're building this thing organically, it still takes money behind it to put it in front of people, so I don't know, that part, man, I do not envy you. And those type of thoughts, man, I really don't. So let me ask you this. We alluded to it before. There were platforms before you, right? Before FinallyTV, of course, because we didn't invent the wheel over here. We just created a new one, right? A little different design, right? So with that, and let's not front. There's been a lot after, all right? So the inspirational part of what you've done is definitely there and in fruition. All you got to do is open your eyes and look around and look at create dates and all that, and you'll see very quickly that there are a bunch that are out here that came after you, So with that said, how do you feel about, collaborations with other media platforms?
Collaborations? How do I feel about collaborations? I think, shout out Senior G, man. It takes a village, right? So I'm all for collaborating and doing like cross promotion. Like, I'll go on your show, you come on my show. There's definitely value in that. I just be honest, like, there's just not a lot of I want to see you win type personalities around here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's more like, it's very crab in a barrel, for lack of a better term. I know that term got thrown around heavy last couple years, you know what I mean? But it is that, so instead of somebody, an artist coming to a show, any show, instead of that platform that they went on saying, hey, you came here, you really need to go to A, B, and C as well and kind of complete the circuit. I think that'd be a good look for you. They'll take the artist, they'll get that relationship going and feel like, okay, because I established this relationship with this artist, I don't want to tell them to go elsewhere. I want them to be exclusive to my platform. You know what I mean? Which is cool. I mean, that's definitely one model to go on. You know what I mean? I can't really say it's wrong. But from my point of view, I just don't operate like that. You know what I mean? So when I have people on my show, I'm talking about the other platforms after the fact, talking about, you should really like go on a run. You know what I mean? Do da-da-da-da-da. And I see it come into fruition. People have come on my show and all of a sudden they're on the other shows, And don't get me wrong, there's been people on other platforms in the area that were there first and then they ended up here. That's happened, but it doesn't happen nearly as often as it should. And it definitely doesn't happen as nearly as much as I've done it. You know what I'm saying? Like I've put people on to the other platform and they reached out and then wanted to get with those platforms. You know what I mean? But it seems that it doesn't get reciprocated. But, I just keep it moving, you know what I mean? So as far as collaborations, yeah, I'm down to collaborate, but I'm also very careful about the brand of Finally TV, and I definitely don't want to be affiliated with any type of negativity or disrespect or anything like that. I think the platform's been on the up and up. I think that, we show respect to get respect, and I think that's been the mantra that I've lived by for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Just show it to get it type of deal. So if you show me respect, I show you respect, or vice versa. I'll show you respect first, just off rip, just because we're human beings and you're going to get that chance from me. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, collaborations, I'm for it, but I'm careful with that. You know what I mean? Not everybody's worthy. Not everybody has the same perspective. Not everybody has the same morals. Not everybody, has the same intention at the end of the day. So I am a little careful with jumping out the window wanting to collaborate, but I'm still willing to collaborate.
All right. I like it, man. Say it with your chest. You know what I mean? So, man, last question for you, bro. And again, thank you for coming out here, taking the time to do this today. But, I'm going to start getting a little bit more into the elephant in the room, so to speak. So I want to ask you, why does it seem like the 845 is stuck? And you know what I mean, because you know what I mean when I say stuck, right? So why is that? What would you say to that? What's your answer?
Why is the 845 stuck? It has a lot to do with what we've been talking about this whole time. You know what I mean?
Okay. I
think that there's not enough I want to see you win around here. There's a lot of, I think that there have been situations in the past around here that have just been quote unquote like money grabs. And I think that people are sour because of that. And I think that other opportunities that come up that you have to pay for and all that are looked at with a jaded eye. You know what I mean? And it's not everybody, and I wouldn't even say half, but, there is a good portion of people that feel that way. So anytime, something comes up where you got to come out your pocket, it's met with resistance. And, I'm talking about as simple, I'm not even talking about just you paying $50 for an interview. I'm talking about the next level where it's like, just a artist selling music to the people and the fans, right? The support system that they need right there is resistant to come out of pocket and spend money. You know what I mean? Even if you're talking about an $8.99 album or a $12.99 album, digitally, people just don't, there's something about this area and coming like literally like shaking money loose out of your pocket or your digital wallet and putting it into something. They'd rather put their money into some nonsense that on the back end has no real value or return to it, where I feel like, even on that level where it's like a supporter buying an album, that has a residual effect. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's just something that's on their phone, so now they see your name when they're scrolling through, even that has a value to it. You know what I'm saying? And I know that's minute, but even that has a little tiny bit of value to it. So, I just think that people around here want to win, but they want to win selfishly. They want to win for themselves. They want to be the one to crack the code around here and make it jump, just like, how like Buffalo's popped off now, and how, the city's been and all these other locales and stuff. I think a lot of people want to be the ones who crack the code and aren't willing to share or be a part of a team that does it. They want to do it on their own and be recognized for it. And I just don't think it'll ever win with that mentality, And another reason why I think they're stuck around here, bro, is they people think that they're way better than they are. I'm just gonna say it like that, man. You know what I mean? People think they are much more accomplished and much more talented than they actually are. I think skill level, there's levels to everything, and just because you could rap and you could go to a studio and record it doesn't mean that you're dope, and it doesn't mean that people are hating when you put your stuff out and nobody's rocking with it. I just think that a lot of this is a hobby for people, and they're confusing, the want and desire to have a hobby, right, with actually being able to do this for real in the music industry and pop. You know what I mean? There's a difference there, and I don't think a lot of people understand that difference, because if they did, their level of commitment to their craft would be tenfold. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's a huge issue with the area around here, and there's a lot of yes men around here, and there is a lot of money grab around here. You know what I mean? So, that's what makes it tough for the legitimate platforms in the area, trying to get by and keep their things going by charging these small amounts to, help support the whole cause and the system and just keep it moving. I think it makes it hard for the legitimate ones when these other ones are just, legit money grabbing, $5, $10, $15, come on my live and I'll play your music and I'll just yes man you to death. You know what I'm saying? And it's so dope, your song, this dude is fire, this, that, and the third, this girl can blow, blah, blah, blah. But it's not true. You know what I'm saying? It's not true. The fact is that anybody who's been on FinallyTV that I've spoken on, you know what I mean? Artists like what we talking about, and when we're doing the 3 the Hard Way, and I legit am on there going, this is it. Like, this is dope. It's dope. And it'll be considered dope by a lot of different people, not just me in that moment, but trust me when I tell you, they're out there just taking people's money so they could get up on a live and just yes you to death that, yeah, it's cool, it's dope, yeah, okay, go follow such and such and such and such. All right, who's next? You know what I mean? There is a lot of that. So I don't know. But that's why it's stuck, man. People think they're better than they actually are, and they think they don't have to put the commitment in and the effort and the time and the money. That is why the 845 is stuck. And I refuse to let that get me. That's why I do put my money where my mouth is, and I put money into FinallyTV. That's why I'm going to continue doing the Voice of the Valley showcases. That's why I'm going to continue doing Voice of the Valley interviews. It's definitely a way for me to connect with the community and really try to bring it forward and try to make this thing for real, get the 845 on the map for real, shout out Party and all these other entities out in the world that have actually made some noise in the industry and championed the 845. But I want to keep that going, and I want to do it on a bigger scale. And I think, that's the goal of Finally TV.
Got it. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, straight from the horse's mouth. To ask somebody who has sat with 100 different artists in the area in the span of 4 years, I think that's a legitimate answer that you need to take heed to, right? Because if that's the way you feel, that's the way you feel, man. You know what I'm saying? So, I hope great and bigger and badder things for Finally TV come, brother. I know it's nothing but love out here, so make sure you keep doing your thing. Yeah, man, I want to see where it's at in a couple of years, man. You got that drive, you got that intensity, and that stick-to-itiveness, if you will. So, salute to you, salute to Finally TV, salute to everybody who's watching this, salute to everybody who enjoyed this interview. Go ahead and follow Finally TV everywhere. It's the same everywhere. Finally TV, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Make sure you do that. Tune in for the next Voice of the Valley. We out here. Peace.